Hello, USA Water Polo family. This is Olympian Genai Kerr with another workout program for you to do at home, as that is where everybody is these days. Really important that you do whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay? Don't go and do something that's going to go and injure yourself just because you're trying to do too much. Know your limitations, but just try to increase them gradually. Okay, this is a good opportunity to kind of test yourself and kind of track where you are and work on those small gains every single day, or if you're even doing things twice a day, every single session. So starting off with limited range of motion, good posture, good body balance. Kind of test where you are with your range of motion. Keeping my elbows together, you'll see that I start to shake at this point. Once I feel like I'm locking out, try to go up a little bit higher. Once it relaxes, can't really tell them on my face, but if my muscles are starting to relax a little bit, challenge myself and go up a little bit higher. So from that position of being fully extended, exhale, pinch your shoulder blades back. And from here, you can kind of vary what you're going to do. Field players are obviously going to be shot blocking with one hand, muscle memory locking out, keeping your arms strong, goalies coming together in a V. Okay? Again, muscle memory, just working together, pinch your shoulder blades on the way back. Here, here, here. After you get warmed up, you can kind of work on your speed, technique, locking out, how quickly you can get up, come back to your base position. You can imagine being with your hands in the water, back to here, but you're not going to go backwards. You're never going to be falling forward or anything else. Really kind of incorporate that into a full body workout. Again, keeping my feet wide as I squat all the way down. Try not to lean forward. Keep my upper body straight. Elbows into my knees. Open up my groin a little bit more. Hand on the ground. Field players, imagine you're going not for a good pass, but for a bad pass. Goalies exaggerate even more. Extend this pinky all the way across to get that last little fingertip lob. And once you feel that stretch, place your arm on the ground and go to the other side. Now where it feels comfortable, but increase your range of motion a little bit more. Already, just from this one exercise, I can see I'm tighter on my left side than I am on my right side. So it's really important you stay balanced. I might do this a couple more times just so I open up, so my body becomes a little more balanced. Okay, from here, raising your hips, so you're getting a good stretch in your hamstrings, and slowly rolling up. Rather than just stopping here, forgetting about your opposite side of the body, pushing your hips forward, stretching out your quads, and do a reverse stretch coming back behind you. Okay. Repeat that sequence several times, maybe anywhere between 5 to 10 times. So a good example of being balanced is a nice little jump, and wherever you land with your feet wide, kind of gives you a good indication of where you're going to be with your feet planted. Okay, squatting down, not just to 90 degrees, but sinking your hips lower than that. Chest is still up, hands are in a blocking position. Imaginary blocks. Imaginary blocks. Okay, right, center, left, that's a sequence of 1, doing sets of 10 of those. Perfect. The next thing you can do to kind of add to it is exaggerate how wide your base position is. Pull your hips back, so you're not focusing on bend your knees in, just really make sure you pull your hips back. You won't get as low, but you're gonna feel more stretch opening up through your groin. So getting from the side profile, my knees are not going forward, my hips are just going back, down, chest is still up, realistic imaginary blocking position, extend, block, extend, pushing imaginary water with my offhand every time. The extreme of this now is lateral movement, sinking down so my hips get lower than my knees, square my shoulders to imaginary shooter, base position, block, shift over, rotate, base position and block, shift over, rotate, base position, block. It feels as if I'm pulling water, rotating, holding square my shoulders and blocking. Okay. To exaggerate even more is rather than doing a typical lunge, it's going to be in line. Okay, this is a typical lunge in line. is to exaggerate it and step out to the side. So rather than going forward, I'm going to rotate my hip as if I was 8-beatering, coming maybe to step out at an angle to take away a shot from 2 meters or it's set. Don't let your weight go over your knees, squatting down, shoulders balanced, imaginary block, recover. Opening up, maybe now there's a cross pass going from the 4 or 5 side all the way over to the 1-2 side. Exaggerate how much you open up, rotate, imaginary block, hands together. When I recover, my left leg is still facing the same direction I started. Obviously you want to be balanced, and do it the same on the opposite side. Right foot, facing forward the entire time, open up my hips, lunge out to the side, rotate, imaginary block. All the way back, dropping back. Maybe this time I go for imaginary lob and recovering back each time. So you're connecting your core, your legs, and your upper body with muscle memory and technique at the same time. So another great muscle memory exercise. It's gonna work your plank, your core, but also shoulders. I'm going into your biceps and forearms. Arms out straight, and just hover off the ground. Hold this for 5 to 10 seconds before you relax, and then come right back up. Okay. What this allows you to do is build up that strength and stability at an angle where you're going to come forward to block and control the ball without swinging, without coming too far forward, just stabilizing as far extend as you can. If you need to start off a little bit more narrow and then get stronger, you can do so. Great exercise for your hip flexors and your glutes is to work an 8-beater motion where you're coming up, raise your ankle as high as possible, pushing down and around. Up, out, and around. Up, out, and around. Up, out, and around. So you're not just pushing down towards your heel, you're actually trying to move imaginary water inside your thigh. So when I'm kicking down, I'm not kicking here, I'm rotating my foot up. So resistance would be on the inside of my thigh, the thickest part of my leg, so I make that 8-beater motion in. Another little good exercise is do the breaststroke kick as you're stabilizing your core. And as you feel more comfortable doing this motion, you can go without using your hands, lowering your shoulders, coming back up. I feel a little snap, crackle, pop in my hips as I do this. Next thing is just going lateral touches, shoulders and legs off the ground, slide and touch one knee and the other knee. So small little movements through your obliques, and you'll feel it within the first 30 seconds. Try to push through for 45 seconds to a minute for each repetition. So going back to pump fakes, whether you have a smartphone with a camera or anything else, film yourself so you make sure it looks realistic. Not just starting off with what you think is good, but really exaggerate it. Increase your range of motion. Widen your stance. So as you come for your pump fake, you're not just moving your arm, you're actually using your entire body. My leg is coming up and I'm rotating my hip. Up and rotating my hip. So if you look at my right hip here, okay, as it rotates, it's coming to here. My arm is still behind, so if I do it full motion, I can't do anything without making a big movement forward, pulling imaginary water with your left arm, not just pushing down. Use your legs to give you that height in the water, and get in the habit of pulling water with your offhand. So this next exercise forces you to use your entire body and stop relying on your arm as much when you pass and shoot. If you have a piece of PVC pipe at home, it's ideal, but you can honestly use a broomstick, Swiffer, any type of pole. So for now, I'll demonstrate the PVC pipe. If you're right-handed, put the pipe between your thumb and middle finger, index finger, and then again, same thing behind your back. So what obviously I can't do is move too far forward, just my arm. It's forcing me to come here and rotate my entire body. So now I'm putting my hand on my hip and using this point as the new pivot point. So rather than pivoting from my shoulder, I'm pivoting from my hip. So a big rotate and pivot. From the side, you'll see it here. A big rotate and pivot. A big rotate and pivot.
No, what?
Found this, Mommy.
What did you find? You were doing a really good job of being quiet during Daddy's videos, and now you interrupted one of the videos saying help, help, because you got trapped in that box.